Is it okay to have a work husband? Is it okay to have a work wife, otherwise known as work spouse? Work spouse refers to a special relationship that you might share with your co-worker. It could be someone from the opposite sex or the same sex. This topic is debatable in itself because there are those who believe that work spouse are infidelity to marriage, whereas there are others who believe it's quite beneficial to have a work spouse. However, for today's video, I'll be sharing with you 5 tips in which you can use to avoid work spouse. The first point is for you to avoid going out on one-on-one dinner with somebody from an opposite sex, especially a co-worker. One-on-one dinner is a perfect scenario that might lead to circumstances that are beyond control. It's romantic in itself. Therefore, if you find yourself going out for a dinner with a colleague, this might lead to work spouse. Again, you have to keep whatever interaction you have with a colleague professional. Avoid sharing too much personal information, especially those that involves your marital life if you're married. This issue equally affects single people as well. If you're single, avoid sharing too much information about your emotional or personal life. Keep it professional when you're discussing at the office. The third point is you might be invited out for a formal dinner. In this situation, you may get involved in workplace issues. To avoid such invitation is impolite in itself. Therefore, if you're prepared to go along, try to take a third party with you, maybe a friend. When there are 3 people together, it will help to control the situation. There wouldn't be any emotion involved. Everything will be professional. So this will equally help you to define your relationship with a colleague at work. The fourth point that you have to consider is for you to avoid drinking alcohol. When you go out with a colleague, you guys drink together. When you're tipsy, this might makes you to get involved in discussion that you may live to regret. Getting tipsy might not only evoke inappropriate discussion, it might equally prepare you to get attached emotionally. Avoid drinking alcohol when you step out with a colleague, because when you drink, you wouldn't have self-control and you don't know what might ensue after that. Avoid this scenario at all costs. If you must drink, drink moderate. Avoid drinking too much. And finally, make it a hobby to always talk about your family at work. For those that are married, when you discuss about your family, you talk more often about your wife or husband. This helps to keep your colleagues away from you, especially those that might want to have an emotional connection with you. Discussing your family is an indirect way of telling your co-workers that you very much love your wife or husband. Always make it a hobby to bring up issues involving your family, but do it in a professional way. Don't talk about your family when you have a meeting, something to discuss about, which is very important. Talk about this when you guys are like having lunch or you are having informal discussion about things that are not work related. When you bring up your family, it helps to push away those that might want to get involved with you emotionally. So there you go. Those 5 points, if you take into practice, it will help you a lot to avoid work spouse, otherwise known as work husband or work wife. This is a contemporary issue that is affecting most people in the workplace. Getting a hold of this situation and actually understanding it will go a long way in protecting your job and helping you to have a happy, cordial workplace life. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye-bye.